Good morning, Shmuel Chantal, the running tour guide, together with Dr. Book. We're on another journey. Today we're heading to the Golan. We're at the southern tip of the Golan Heights. We're going to head up to the hills and take you to Susita. Susita?
Susita.
Susita.
Meanwhile, before we get there, take a look around over there. There's lots of red triangles and barbed wire. They say on them, mine. Not yours, but mine. This is one of the most heavily mined areas on the planet Earth, and the road we're about to go up was actually controlled by Syria the first 19 years of the State of Israel, and for thousands of inhabitants, their daily lifestyle was living in bomb shelters, being shelled and machine gunned, and artillery barrages day and night for 19 years. That was the reality of the Israelis underneath the Golan Heights. Yet on the last day of the 6-day war, in one day, the entire plateau that was considered to be absolutely impossible to conquer was taken in one day. And the reason that happened in one day is because of one person who literally changed the course of Jewish and Israeli history. His story we're going to hear on top of the Golan Heights, and his name was Eli Cohen.
Thank you for placing us, Dr. Book. So let's follow the journey of Eli Cohen and climb up the Golan Heights.
And as we're going up this road here, just notice, we'll point out with the camera how difficult it would have been to go up. Steep turns. The road itself back in 67 was half the width that it is right now, and around every corner there was hidden machine gun nests, minefields on both sides, things called dragon teeth to stop the military vehicles from going past. It looks like it's impregnable, and yet one person changed it forever.
Okay folks, up we go. Enjoy the ride with us. It's a twisty, turny, hairpin bend drive up the Golan Heights.
Southern end of the Golan Heights.
Okay, here we are looking west across the Kinneret. Herod Antipas builds a Hellenistic city called Tiberias after Caesar Tiberius. But here we are, the southern Golan Heights. We've driven that route. We've captured the Golan by car today, but 1967 and the intelligence that was gained before. Let's speak a little bit about Eli Cohen.
So back in 1967, Israel's major two foes were Egypt in the south and Syria in the north. And in the north, they couldn't put in blonde hair, blue eyed, because they would stick out like the proverbial sore thumb. They needed someone who could act like an Arab, who look like an Arab, who could speak like an Arab, and most importantly, think like an Arab. And the person they found for that was a guy, his name was Eli Cohen, a legendary figure. And when he eventually came to Israel, he married a Iraqi Jewess called Nadia, settled down to start a family, and then the Mossad had their eye on him. It's one of his amazing attributes. When they initially tried to recruit him, his answer was, listen, I've done my bit when I was in university, I'm now married, I want to start a family, I'm here for the quiet life. And they tried to find other people and they couldn't. And they said to him, they came back to him and said, En lanu mishu acher. We don't have anyone else who can do what you can do. And when he understood that the entire future of the state of Israel was dependent on him and his actions, he did it. You should never say to yourself, I'm just one person, what can I do? Say, I am one person and I can make a difference. And Eli Cohen was such a person.
Okay, so from this view we are heading further north and following these views over the Kinneret in search of Susita. How's that for green? The wind and the wheat, southern Golan Heights, beautiful Jewish farms. There it is folks, the road to Susita and the background Tiberias. Listen up. You hear that? Can't see them yet, but those are cranes, the common cranes. Ah, there they are. An unfortunate reality of the Golan Heights is that many of the fields, or many of the heights overlooking the Kinneret Valley, are littered with landmines. And these were the years 48 to
These are put here by the Syrians, and after the war, against the Geneva Conventions, the Syrians refused to hand over the landmine maps to Israel, and that's why there are still tens of thousands of mines. And unfortunately, when it rains or there's bad weather, the mines tend to shift, and it costs a huge amount of money to clear minefields, and therefore there are certain areas of the Golan Heights that have the international sign for mines. They have the signs, but also the red triangles on the fences, and these are all Syrian minefields from pre-67.
And you can actually see a good example of what Dr. Footman said. The mud actually can shift these landmines, and this area of the road is a very narrow section where you can cross. But a place we'd love to just explore and hike, but you really have to stick to the main drags. Okay, enough.
Or else you'll have a blast.
Yeah, you'll have a blast of a time if you don't. Okay folks, we have arrived. It's windy out, it's time to hit the trails. We're heading to the top of the hill. Welcome to Susita. Start the watch. So there's a current archaeological dig on the go. So they've only been digging here for 4 months, and what they've uncovered is the cemetery of Susita. And just have a look here, the sarcophagus coming out of the ground in situ, and okay, we don't want to disturb them too much. Holy cows of the blood. Okay, these are the bottom archaeological sites. We haven't reached the top of the hill yet. What is this part of town?
Okay. Vertebrae.
Right.
And they were connected one into the other. That's how the water system would flow through here. It's like Legos.
Oh, I see.
Water
So
would
piece
flow
by
through.
piece.
Yeah, it would be this way around.
Julia. Really amazing. So much to explore. You need the entire day to explore it. These look like fountain heads. It's got on the Roman road here. Roads to Damascus or from Damascus. Wow, yeah, look at that. Serious off the beaten track here. Don't forget the view. These views are incredible as you climb up Boker Tov. It's a great trail, runnable. Alrighty then, we've reached the top. We're now on the main street that goes east-west. Up ahead, Dr. Book, let's get you in the view. There we go. Dr. Book is running due west in the direction of Tiberias. Quick stop. Whoa, 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 whoa. Okay, now part of Dr. Book's studies and research, and a wonderful book that's coming out soon dealing with Second Temple history. I'm sure he can explain in 30 seconds what is this type of architecture.
This, my friends, was the top of the building. It was flipped over in an earthquake. This is part of the frieze. It would have been the other way around. So from the ground up, you would have been seeing the egg and dot pattern, the flowers, the beautiful leaves, the scrolling over here. You would have seen this looking up. But because of the catastrophic earthquake in the 8th century, the entire city was destroyed, as we're about to see. And part of this evidence is this random top of a monumental building thrown into the street over here, where it has lain for the last 1.5 millennia.
Okay, that was 45 seconds. Okay, of all the sites we've taken you to, this is one of the longest of the streets we've been on, the Decamanos. But here midway, we get a good example of the earthquake of 749, where you can see these capitals and pillars in situ as they fell. There we go. Isn't that like a dominoes effect? But there they lie.
Beautiful. All from the Sinai Peninsula, grey imported granite, marble from Rome. This was a major cathedral of the city. Again, facing the east as Cathedral City. This is where the apse was, and all destroyed in that earthquake. But you can just see how much time and effort went into building this cathedral, where there would have been rows of columns on two sides of the basilica, and reused marble from the earlier Roman town once it became Byzantine. And this is one of many churches and synagogues that existed in this city. Beautiful.
Coming up, the main part of town, the main basilica. That is a perfect example of a Corinthian capital up close. What's nice about it, you can actually get to touch these. Wow, what masterwork.
And originally, as you can see, they were all plaster. You see the remains of the original plaster.
Right. So in order to make it look like marble, although, you know, in my opinion, I like this basalt finish.
They were actually made of separate drums, then all plastered over, so it's like one long piece of marble.
Yeah, check that out. 1, 2, 3 drums put on top of each other, plastered to look a little bit more impressive. Okay, here we are in the church. 15 times. Massive. One of the many churches, exactly.
Oh my God, look at this.
There we go. Revealed in all its glory. Hallelujah.
A 1,500-year-old trichromide mosaic. White, blue and red.
Trichromide. I like that. Wow. Oh, but that swastika in the red color gives me the chills.
And it goes on and on and on.
Okay, the GoPro battery is dead, so Dr. Book is taking over. Here we are on the peak of Susita.
Right behind, just between us, you can see on the other side of the Kinneret, of the freshwater lake, the Kinneret, the city of Tiberia. Tiberia, interestingly enough, is where the Jerusalem Talmud was written, because at this time period, in the Byzantine period, Jews were not allowed access to Jerusalem. So even though they wrote it in Tiberias behind us, out of honor for Yerushalayim of Jerusalem, it was called the Jerusalem Talmud. On the other side of the lake, where the Jewish rabbis were writing the Talmud and finishing off the Talmud, was this city over here. You can see ruins of it behind us, Susita, which was a Christian city at this time with many churches and even a cathedral as part of the Decapolis, but also a Jewish community living here as well. And the entire city was destroyed by that earthquake of the 8th century, where it has lain mainly unexcavated until this very day.
So on the edge of the Golan Heights overlooking the Kinneret Valley, you know, we can think about that reality between 1948 and 1967, those 19 years where the agricultural settlements below us really had to live with the reality of pot shots, mortars that would be shot from where we are onto the settlements below. You know, and sometimes some of the farmers say that they actually had to go every day with armored tractors. You know, you'd be risking your life to green the land. Come 67, the miracle of the 6-day war, we won't get into that incredible period of history, but bottom line is the return came to these hills. These sites were rediscovered, and it's ongoing. We saw the archaeologists working at the entrance, so much more to be found, so much more to be understood. We've returned, rebuilding these cities, never more to be uprooted. Okay, we're back at the gateway at the bottom of the hill. Hope you enjoyed that little run around Susita. We crested the southern Golan Heights this morning. We've brought you to this incredible site that overlooks the Kinneret. Sum it up for us, Dr. Book. Susita, what's its story? What's the essence of this place?
Just imagine we're standing here on the ruins of this Roman city over here. And if you would have said to the Romans back then, by the way, in 2,000 years' time, the Roman Empire will be dust and ashes, and the Jews will be back in their land, laughing, singing, praying, speaking Hebrew, and in charge of their own destiny once again. The Romans would have laughed you, so that's impossible. We're the Roman Empire, we rule the world. Yet that's what happened because of three things. Torat Yisrael, the Torah of Israel, Am Yisrael, the community of Israel, and Eretz Yisrael, the very land of Israel, is what kept the Jews Jewish. And that is the secret of Jewish survival.
So there we go, folks. Susita, a place where Jews once lived and a place that Jews live today. Welcome home. Wishing you all a Shabbat Shalom. Thank you for following. From the southern Golan Heights, central Golan Heights, northern Golan Heights, lots more coming to you. Thank you for joining the journey.
Shabbat
Shabbat Shalom.